be seated.
Good afternoon, my dear brothers and sisters. We are now on the first week of Lent, Monday of the first week of Lent. And we continue our journey, our prayers, as we prepare ourselves for the Paschal mysteries, for the celebration of the Paschal mysteries. I think our readings today, particularly the Gospel, ay maganda din po na punto para tignan natin ang sarili natin at patuloy sa ating paglalakbay ngayong panahon ng Kwaresma. And upon reflecting on our readings, particularly the Gospel, I remember a story that is told about this returning soldier from war, because this soldier was asked to go home and basically once again be reunited with his parents. But when the soldier was asked to go home, he asked his parents if he could bring in a friend who is differently abled and amputated. Could he live with us? He has no place to go, said the son to his parents. But his father replied, "But this handicap would be a burden to us. Please forget this, my son." He could have lived on his own. They never heard from their son again. After a few days later, the police called the parents of that soldier to inform them that they found their son dead after committing suicide. The parents went to the morgue to identify their son. Upon recognizing him, they were surprised to see him with only one arm and one leg. The mother cried and exclaimed, "If we have known, if we had known, kung alam lang namin, kung alam lang namin." My dear brothers and sisters, this regret sounded like the one from the goats in the gospel today. The goats did not know that Christ was among the hungry and thirsty. They did nothing. This is quite understandable at first glance. Many find it uncomfortable and inconvenient to help the poor. Take it from me. More than 3 years during this pandemic, we feed our street dwellers every day. Makukulit, demanding. Some, they have white lies. So sometimes, talagang ikaw ay mapapagod, ikaw ay maiinis. Kaya most of the times, we find it difficult, uncomfortable, and inconvenient to help the poor. Tama nga naman kasi wala tayong nakukuha at first glance. Why? Because there is no advantage to it except losing our money, our time to charity. Some believe it is even dangerous to accommodate strangers. They might rob and mob you. Helping prisoners might encourage their criminal minds. Feeding the poor and the street dwellers, tinuturuan daw natin maging tamad. But my dear brothers and sisters, these fears, these things that prevents us to reach out to them, even if it is justifiable and real, are nevertheless no excuse for us for being a good Samaritan. Maybe the goats thought only of their own advantage and were discriminating in their charity. Their ignorance was probably not their fault, but they were nonetheless punished. Saint Benedict instructed his monks to seek Christ in others, especially the guest and stranger. Saint Vincent de Paul once said, if you are praying in the chapel and there is poor knocking at your door, leave your prayer. Attend to the poor who are asking help. Leave God for God. Because what you are attending to is God Himself. My dear brothers and sisters, this spirituality of hospitality is possible when the host is trusting and generous. He does not doubt the intentions of a known person who might turn to be a good fortune. Tandaan po natin yung nakasulat sa Hebrew chapter 13 verse 2. And I quote, "Do not forget to entertain strangers. For doing so, some people have entertained angels without knowing it."